On March 13th, 2020, my junior year of high school, I would walk out of a classroom for the very last time. What was supposed to be a 2-week break from the pandemic turned into a year and 3 months of hustle and happiness. The pandemic hit me at a perfect time, and the stay-at-home orders crafted me into an unstoppable force. The past few years, I have not let anything bad happen to me, and I seized every single opportunity. My freshman and sophomore year of high school, I was very studious. I spent multiple hours a day working on homework and studying for exams. I got my grades up to a 4.3 GPA in hopes that I can go to a good college and play football. But I was in it for the wrong reasons. I didn't actually enjoy football. I just wanted to play because of the money. As more and more news came out about CTE, I started to fall less in love with football. I didn't want to die at 50 years old. I knew that I had to find some other way to make money so that I didn't have to rely on becoming a professional football player. And you know me, you know my mindset. If I put my mind to it, I truly believe I could have done it. And that is when I started my side hustles. I was always entrepreneurial, but my sophomore year of high school, I started getting serious. What was once $20 a week from doing people's homework in middle school turned into $150 a week from doing people's essays in high school. With this new amount of money, I now had more opportunity to experiment with different side hustles. You know, I could put those $150 towards my drop shipping store. I could put that $150 towards a vending machine business. First, I dabbled around at garage sales and thrift stores, and I made around $1,000 in profit my first year of selling on eBay. I know $1,000 isn't that much for a year of work, but what it truly taught me was that I can learn how to do things on YouTube. I didn't learn how to resell in a textbook. I didn't learn how to make money by myself in a classroom. I learned how to do literally everything in my side hustle / entrepreneurial world from YouTube. It made me question what else I could learn from the internet. And it also made me more confident that I didn't have to go to college, because if I wanted to learn something, I could just Google it. And I proved to myself that that works. So my junior year of high school, I purchased $1,000 worth of vending machines. I went around my town, I knocked on local businesses' doors, I went into restaurants, and I asked if I could place my vending machines in their locations. 77 rejections later, I finally had a few locations around town and a restaurant, an auto repair shop, and I had 2 at my local high school. One of the people I look up to is Reezy Resells here on YouTube, and because of him, I started a book reselling business that same time. I arranged a wholesale deal with a local thrift store, and I was able to buy books by the pound, and from January to March, I made about $2,000 in profit from that book business. While running these side hustles, I also documented literally everything from my YouTube channel. And I gained a few hundred subscribers from all these little side hustles, and that alone was worth it to me. But March came around, COVID became more popular, and school shut down, the restaurant shut down, every local business shut down. My vending machine business also had to shut down, and my book business had to shut down because I couldn't get any more books from the thrift store. What seemed like such a devastating endeavor actually turned into one of the best opportunities in my life. I had a lot of friends who were making a living off of reselling. Remember that guy Reezy Resells I mentioned earlier? I actually ended up working with him. You see, I found out he was local to me, I sent him a few DMs, I went back and forth with his assistant, and eventually he offered to pay me $13.50 an hour to pack some eBay orders for him, but I told him I'd work for free in exchange for knowledge. So he ended up teaching me how to resell on steroids. And one day I was let in on a little tip. Since barbershops were closed and people were locked up inside of their homes, hair clippers were selling like crazy. I snuck out of my house during the stay-at-home orders, and I drove around town to every CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, and I looked for any hair clipper I could find. I would buy these clippers for like $24 at Walgreens and sell them on eBay and Amazon for $80 plus. Long story short, I sold $85,000 worth of clippers, which is at least $15,000 in profit. My mind was lifted to a new level. I started looking for more opportunities to resell. We would find things to flip from here and there. One of the big ones that I can remember is patio heaters. We were buying these from Home Depot for $150 and selling them to upwards of $350. This was because restaurants were starting to reopen, but they can only seat people outdoors, and it was getting really cold around the wintertime, so these restaurants had to do a business write-off on some $300 patio heaters. Some of the other stuff we were reselling were like motherboards. I never really got into flipping graphics cards because I didn't really have the money to purchase them at first, but we just sold all kinds of random stuff that were having supply chain issues due to COVID. And no, I never touched toilet paper or hand sanitizer. Don't come after me. But December comes around, which also closes off my first year of selling on Amazon, and I did $200,000 in sales, which is around $50,000 in profit. At this point, I was halfway through my senior year and I was done with school. I had pretty much checked out. I had found no way how high school could benefit me when I'd already accomplished so much just from learning from the internet. The only thing keeping me in school was football and my dad telling me to finish. I'd played football since I was 10, and my dad literally showed up to every single game. In fact, he was the person who was filming the games. So I wanted to finish what I started, even if I didn't fully enjoy it. And to stay on the football team, I had to maintain a decent GPA. I couldn't have any Fs. So that was really the only thing that was forcing me to turn in my assignments. and I just barely made the grade checks. But we end the season in April, we went undefeated, we won our league. Now all that was left was to graduate high school. I had pushed my parents' buttons for the past few years, right? I had a 4.3 GPA, then all of a sudden, I went to a kid who had straight D's and F's. They did see I was making money though, so they didn't really ask much of me after high school, they just wanted me to graduate. The days kept going on, and I kept making more money. Then on the morning of May 19th, 2021, my whole life changed. My dad had been sick for a few days, so I went into his room to check on him, but I was a little too late. I walked into my dad face down, his body bloated and purple. He had been dead for a few hours now. I cried for my sister, she called 911, and the police showed up and took his body away. The next few days were filled with shock. Surely this would have been the worst thing to ever happen to me. We had so many plans for the future. We planned to sell this house, we planned to get RVs so I can continue my entrepreneurial stuff and continue life in a different state. All those plans got demolished. Before he passed, my father purchased a camper van and he was planning on converting it into a little mini home. He put a bed, a fridge, a generator, a $1,200 toilet, had plans to put solar on the roof and everything, but he never got to finish it. Which is why I think it's my duty to go ahead and finish the van for him and in the next 1 to 2 years travel across America. I'm going to be filming everything for TikTok, YouTube, and Netflix because some of my last conversations with him, he was talking about how he wanted to start getting on YouTube and posting and how he wanted to make a TikTok account. So I want to make sure to basically do that for him in his honor. I'm going to film the whole conversion of the van. I'm going to film basically everything. I'm gonna eventually make a Netflix show on it and sell it to them for $1 million. But for those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that I can always find good in even the worst situations. This is probably gonna be one of the worst things that has ever happened to me. I'm a 17-year-old kid who lost his father. But there's nothing I can do about what happened. I can't control what life throws at me. All I can control is how I react to the situation. So I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it every single day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do everything in his honor. I'm going to finish the van and film it for YouTube and grow an even bigger following. I'm going to film that Netflix show and sell it for $1 million. I will never let anything bad happen to me because I know that even the worst things in life present the best opportunities. If you want to follow this journey, please go ahead and subscribe right down below so you don't miss a video. To the left of me, I have some of my older videos. I don't know what I'm going to put there, but I'll put something cool. Thank you guys for sticking to the end. As always, I'm going to find a way to turn tragedy into triumph. Have a good day.